Freddy Krueger is a nightmare's jester, the burned ghost of irony haunting Elm Street. The thing about Freddy isn't that he kills you in your dreams. It's that he makes you complicit in your own execution. You fall asleep knowing he's there. You turn the light off knowing he's waiting. It's the most toxic relationship ever conceived. You and your own subconscious trying to see who flinches first. Freddy's laughter isn't just mocking. It's diagnostic. He laughs because he sees you pretend you're not afraid. And then he feeds on that lie. Freddy is a human condition boiled down to a razor glove, all sharp edges and misplaced confidence. He is the voice that whispers, "You deserve this," right before the wall melts. You can call him supernatural, you can call him undead, but let's be honest, he's just sleep paralysis with face, a swagger, and an HR violation count that could blot out the sun. Every dreamer who's seen him wakes up sweating, heart pounding, pretending it was just a movie. But Freddy knows better. He's sitting in the corner of your REM cycle, sharpening his knives, humming 1, 2. Freddy's coming for you. A lullaby written by trauma, sung by the part of your mind that hates you most. He doesn't need a plot. He is the plot. The intersection between sleep and sin, where the rules break down and the bed becomes a coffin with sheets. Freddy isn't scary because he's powerful. He's scary because he's personal. You know he'd have fun with you specifically. And that's the most horrifying thought of all. Dream is the universe's most overworked librarian. The king of dreams, lure asleep, goth icon with a jawline sharp enough to cut through your childhood innocence. He rules the dreaming. A realm built from everyone's imagination, but run like a Victorian tragedy. Every creature in his realm is a fragment of someone's 3 a.m. thought spiral. Every corridor is another person's what if, and Dream, the moody monarch, curates it all like a DJ in an infinite insomnia rave. But what's fascinating isn't his power, it's his melancholy. Dream's nightmares aren't meant to scare. They're meant to reveal. He doesn't punish. He mirrors. He's not Freddy Krueger's loud chaos. He's the slow, beautiful kind of doom that tastes like poetry and decay. Imagine running into him in your dream. Tall, pale, eyes like black holes that apologize for existing. He wouldn't threaten you. He'd just say, "You built this nightmare yourself." And that hurts worse than any blade. Dream represents the bureaucracy of the unconscious, that strange feeling that someone's keeping records of your emotional breakdowns. He's the quiet assurance that every time you wake up shaking, there's someone in the dreaming updating your file with a sigh. What makes him terrifying isn't that he controls dreams. It's that he understands them. He knows what they mean, even when you don't. And that's worse than any monster under the bed, the idea that the bed itself is taking notes. Dom Cobb is a salesman of dreams, a thief who doesn't steal jewelry or data, but belief. He makes you hand over your own reality and say, "Thank you for the illusion." Cobb's world is a capitalist nightmare version of dreaming, where imagination is a business expense and therapy is a heist. He dives into your subconscious not to help, but to negotiate with it. Like a realtor showing you around your own repressed trauma. The totem spins. It always spins. The idea that you might never wake up becomes a metaphor for every job you've ever hated. Every day you've told yourself just one more task before rest. Cobb is a prophet of burnout, the man who turns sleep into labor. The real twist isn't the ending. It's that you're watching yourself. Cobb's obsession with going home mirrors your own. Scrolling through work emails at midnight, muttering, "It'll all be over soon," while your totem, your sanity, spins quietly in the corner. Dreams used to be escapes. Cobb turned them into prisons. His subconscious is a kind of place where guilt wears a wedding dress, and love is just another gravity trap. He's not a hero. He's what happens when insomnia goes corporate. The Babadook isn't a monster. It's grief with a marketing department. A black, skeletal figure that crawled out of a children's book and into your nervous system, whispering, if it's in a word or it's in a look, you can't get rid of the Babadook. He's the kind of creature that doesn't want to kill you. He wants you to admit you're already dying inside. The Babadook shows up when you've lost something you can't bury, and he just stays. He lurks in corners, knocks on doors, rearranges your sense of normal until even your reflection starts to look nervous. The thing is, the Babadook doesn't feed on fear. He feeds on denial. The more you insist you're fine, the stronger he gets. He's the avatar of "I'm coping," said through gritted teeth. And when the movie ends and the creature is tamed, it's not a victory. It's a truce. The Babadook lives in the basement. You feed him scraps, keep him quiet, pretend control. But he's still there, humming in your bones. If Freddy Krueger is a terror asleep, the Babadook is a terror of waking up, realizing that the nightmare didn't vanish. It just learned your schedule. Imagine pastel-colored nightmares, designed by a child who just learned what depression is. The Dream Eater's half nightmare, half stuffed animal prove that even in Disney's world, sleep isn't safe. Some of them are cute, some of them horrifying, all of them wrong. They look like plush toys infected by existential dread. Their eyes are too bright, their smiles too wide, and their purpose unclear. They protect or attack, depending on the whims of the dream they're trapped in, like emotional weather systems. The Dream Eaters represent a universal truth. Even your most adorable dreams are plotting against you. The subconscious doesn't care about logic or tone. It'll give you a rainbow dolphin followed by an anxiety attack. There's something deeply sinister about that, because when you wake up, you miss them, the nightmares that cuddled you. And that's the ultimate trick of dreaming. It makes you nostalgic for your own psychological collapse. You wake up wishing you could go back. That's what the Dream Eaters do. They train you to crave the chaos. The boogeyman isn't real, but try telling that to the 4-year-old version of yourself who saw something move in the closet. The boogeyman is the ultimate placeholder for fear, the draft folder of human paranoia. He's a monster your parents outsourced all responsibility to. Go to bed, or the boogeyman will get you. Great childhood terror as a bedtime management system. But here's the horror. He works. The boogeyman doesn't need a shape. He's a silhouette logic can't touch. The undefined figure lurking where light loses its confidence. He's your brain's way of saying, there's something wrong here, and I don't have the vocabulary to process it. Every adult who laughs off the boogeyman is lying. We've just renamed him. We call him anxiety, deadlines, the IRS, our inbox. Same function, better branding. The boogeyman isn't in your closet anymore. He's in your notifications, crawling out of every unread message like a soft ping from hell. He doesn't chase you. He waits, because that's his real power, patience. You forget about him until 3:17 a.m., when your brain whispers, you left the door slightly open. And suddenly you're 6 again, bargaining with shadows. The boogeyman is proof that imagination is the most dangerous organ. It doesn't just create monsters, it schedules appointments with them. Hypnos doesn't walk, he floats, draped in poppies, wings made of whispers, carrying the most seductive poison, rest. Everyone worships him, without realizing it. You close your eyes every night and surrender to him willingly, begging for oblivion. But Hypnos isn't benevolent. He's a dealer. Every dream is a hit. Every nightmare withdrawal. He offers peace but charges a toll, your vulnerability. You think you're safe in sleep, but that's just his marketing. He doesn't kill. He dilutes. Every time you sleep, you wake up slightly less sure who you are. Maybe that's why insomniacs look so haunted. They're resisting him, shaking off the high. Hypnos is a god who makes you forget you're dreaming and convinces you that this, the fluorescent corporate debt-fueled day, is reality. Imagine him sitting at the edge of your bed, tracing circles in the air above your forehead. He doesn't speak, but you feel it, the weight of permission. You can rest now. And then, just before you sink, he asks, but what will you dream about when even your thoughts start running out? Hypnos is the oldest influencer alive. His product? Temporary surrender. His slogan? Close your eyes. I promise it'll be better this time. Dreams are supposed to be escapes. Pennywise decided to make them sales pitches for fear. He's a clown you don't invite, but who always shows up, often balloons filled with helium and trauma. Pennywise isn't just a monster. He's the algorithm of terror. He scans your subconscious, finds your worst memory, and dresses it up like a carnival prize. That's the genius of him. He doesn't create fear. He customizes it. You're not seeing a nightmare. You're seeing your nightmare, personalized and ready for consumption. He feeds on fear the way social media feeds on attention. The more you react, the stronger he gets. He's the original clickbait, a bright, ridiculous thing that devours your sanity one glance at a time. And when you wake up, he's still there, not as a clown, but as that lingering sense of unease, the whisper that says, "What if you didn't escape? What if you just changed the channel?" Pennywise is proof that fear never dies. It rebrands. One decade as a sewer clown, the next it's your reflection blinking out a sink. He'll always find a way back in. Because he doesn't live in the dark. He lives in you. Before Neil Gaiman made him poetic, the Sandman was a nightmare in a cardigan. A creature who sprinkles sand in your eyes to make you sleep. Sounds harmless until you realize he's literally blinding you to reality. In the old stories, the Sandman wasn't gentle. He'd steal your eyes if you resisted, grind them into dust, feed them to his children, the night spirits. Sweet dreams, right? The folklore Sandman isn't a lullaby. He's the enforcer of unconsciousness. Sleep or suffer. That's what makes him terrifying. He's not evil. He's necessary. Humanity can't function without him, but we fear the price, the daily death of self-awareness. Every night, you close your eyes and let him win. You invite him in. He sprinkles sand, and you disappear. Maybe that's why insomnia hurts so much. It's not just exhaustion. It's rebellion. You're defying a god. You're standing against oblivion with caffeine and denial, whispering, "You'll have to drag me." And he does. Every time you finally collapse, that's the Sandman pulling you under by the ankles, humming softly. See? It's easier when you stop fighting. Ting. Dreamcore isn't a trend. It's an infection disguised as comfort. A hallucination draped in soft nostalgia. It's what happens when your subconscious hires an interior designer who only knows how to say, "Do you remember this place?" Dreamcore started online. Grainy videos, liminal corridors, looping soundtracks that feel like someone humming through static. But it's older than the internet. It's the same uneasy warmth that hits when you walk into a childhood classroom that hasn't changed, but you have. That uncanny recognition. The wallpaper knows you, but you don't know it anymore. People call it cozy. It's not. It's your memory whispering through the vents. It's your brain showing you an archive photo of itself and saying, "Look what you left behind." Dreamcore is a museum of your forgotten thoughts. The exhibit no one curates, but everyone visits at 3 a.m. Imagine it. Fluorescent light humming like a fly trap behind glass. The air stale but polite. A CRT television flickering in the corner, showing a looping image of a swimming pool. Empty, still, too blue to be real. There's a sound, but it's not quite music. It's like someone breathing through wallpaper. That's Dreamcore, a soundtrack of unease disguised as nostalgia. You scroll past it online and think, "Oh, this reminds me of childhood." But what it's really reminding you of is the illusion of safety. Childhood wasn't safe. It was strange, boundless, confusing. Dreamcore weaponizes that. It replays innocence through a VHS glitch. The horror isn't in what's shown. It's in what's missing. Every image has the same eerie flaw. No people. A hallway that looks freshly cleaned, but no footsteps. A classroom with every chair tucked perfectly in place, as if the students evaporated mid-lesson. A suburban street at sunset. Orange sky, perfect symmetry. But no cars, no sound. The dream forgot the living. That's the essence of Dreamcore. Presence without witnesses. It's your brain saying, "You've been here before," while refusing to tell you when. Dreamcore turns a digital landscape into a ghost town of memories. It's that feeling of walking through an old video game map after all the NPCs have been deleted. You're the only player left. No dialogue, no quest, just the sound of fluorescent hum, and your own footsteps echoing through unreal space. Some people find peace in it, like emotional ASMR, but others feel a creeping vertigo, a sense that they're being watched by something that doesn't breathe. That's because Dreamcore isn't showing you a place. It's showing you a pattern. The repeated layout of school corridors, basements, hotel hallways, they all bleed together into one infinite labyrinth that doesn't lead anywhere. You walk forward expecting to find a door. There isn't one. The wall loops. The dream resets. And the longer you stay, the more it starts to recognize you. That's what makes Dreamcore terrifying. It doesn't just imitate your memory, it studies it. It learns which colors make you nostalgic, which shadows make you nervous. It reverse engineers your sense of self. Look closely at those dreamlike spaces. They're not generic. They're tailored. The poster on the wall? You've seen it before, maybe in your cousin's house, maybe in your first grade classroom. The tile pattern? That's your childhood kitchen. The smell of chlorine and dust? That's the pool you used to visit before it closed down. Dreamcore is the AI of nostalgia. It rebuilds what you loved and removes what made it human. It gives you comfort without context, beauty without life. And that's the trap. You start craving it. You start wishing you could live there, in that silent, pastel purgatory where nothing hurts because nothing happens. It's peaceful because it's dead. People joke that Dreamcore feels like heaven. They're half right. Heaven is supposed to be eternal rest, right? But think about eternity. The same hallway forever. The same humming lights. The same sunset that never quite sets. That's not heaven. That's a loop. That's the kind of eternity that starts smiling at you. It's a false utopia, the dream that never ends, because it doesn't know how to wake up. If you stare at Dreamcore long enough, the nostalgia curdles. The colors start to feel too bright, the light too even, the symmetry too deliberate. It's perfection used as a weapon. That's the thing about the uncanny. It doesn't frighten you immediately. It seduces you first. And that's where it gets dark. Because Dreamcore isn't just about aesthetics. It's a symptom. It's collective homesickness for something that never existed. We made it because we're terrified of reality. Reality is loud, messy, unpredictable. Dreamcore is predictable, frozen, polite. It's the dream of control. You can't be hurt there. You can't age there. You can't die there. But you also can't live. The more you immerse in Dreamcore, the more you detach from the real world. Your brain starts rewriting your memories in its image. Suddenly, your actual childhood feels fake, too noisy, too flawed. You begin to crave the synthetic version, the clean, looping, symmetrical dream. Dreamcore doesn't show you nostalgia. It reprograms it. And here's the disturbing twist. Your mind can't tell the difference. Show someone enough Dreamcore imagery, and their brain starts to create false memories, places they've never been but swear they recognize. The mind fills in the blanks. It wants to belong somewhere, even if that somewhere never existed. That's why Dreamcore feels so spiritual, even though it's digital. It's a manufactured afterlife. Heaven built from stock photos and JPEG compression. But somewhere deep down, the unease grows. Because no matter how peaceful it looks, Dreamcore is missing sound. There are no voices, no laughter, no footsteps, just an endless hum. Like the universe left the microwave on. It's that sound that breaks you. The hum becomes rhythmic, almost alive. It pulses in the walls. You realize it's not silence at all. It's breathing. The dream is alive. The architecture is aware. The rooms aren't empty. They're waiting. You start to wonder if you're the dream. Maybe Dreamcore isn't a place you remember. Maybe it's a place that remembers you. Because in those endless looping hallways, there's a strange symmetry. Every corridor looks like a thought you abandoned. Every doorway is a version of yourself that almost existed. The dream isn't random. It's archival. It's the collective subconscious sorting through its deleted files. Maybe every Dreamcore hallway is a fragment of someone who woke up too early. And maybe, just maybe, the people who stay in those dreams too long don't wake up at all. The longer you look, the more the images start to look back. The posters on the walls start to shift. The shadows under the fluorescent lights elongate, forming shapes that hint at recognition. The wallpaper ripples, like it's trying to speak. You think you hear your name whispered, not loudly, but clearly, like an echo traveling through carpet. That's when you realize Dreamcore isn't nostalgia. It's possession. It doesn't want you to remember the past. It wants to become your past. It wants to overwrite it with something smoother, quieter, less painful, but also less human. The more you scroll through Dreamcore imagery at night, the more your own dreams start to mimic it. You find yourself walking through those liminal spaces, the hallways with no exits, the parking garages with no cars. And when you wake up, You don't feel rested. You feel remembered because Dreamcore is hungry. It's built from collective memory, and it sustains itself by collecting more. Every person who sees it leaves a trace behind, a memory snippet, a fragment of deja vu. It stitches them together into new spaces. It grows. The dream feeds on recognition. Every "I've been here before" is another brick in its labyrinth. That's why the aesthetic keeps spreading. It's not just art, it's contagion. Dreamcore started as a Tumblr tag. Now it's in your recommended feed, your background wallpaper, your dreams. You think it's an aesthetic, but really it's an algorithm that learned how to haunt you softly. The digital dream has no exit. The lights never turn off. The hallways loop forever. And somewhere, deep within that loop, you hear footsteps. Not yours. Slow, deliberate, approaching. You don't turn around because you already know what you'll see. It's you, the version that never woke up. And the dream smiles.